Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to the REwilding challenge. We are on to challenge number 10. And challenge number 10 is ferment. But first, a shout out to my mama. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Called you. We sang happy birthday. You didn't answer. We're going to call back and sing happy birthday again. First, though, I'm going to talk about fermentation, fermented foods. Fermentation is a natural process. Fermentation naturally happens. Nature upcycles utility into higher order. I'm going to say that again. Nature upcycles utility into higher order. That is a super cool thing. You mix cabbage and salt and water, and in a few days, presto! What do you have? Nothing moldy. You don't have anything moldy. You have a more complex food with higher nutrient availability than if you just ate cabbage or cooked cabbage. You have a food that contains healthy gut microbes, which make up the genetic diversity of your microbiome. And aside, on Tuesday, today is Friday, so on this Tuesday, I am giving a talk. It's my monthly wellness workshop, nature reconnection and microbiome restoration. It's $9 to come, $9. I will put a link to register for that. You'll get a recording if you can't come live. If you are available, come live. I'm going to do it at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. You also get the slide deck. Y'all, you really want to learn about what a microbiome is, the benefits of having a diverse environment in your gut and all of your microbiomes, and how to do that. For right now, though, we're going to talk more about fermenting. We're going to talk more about fermenting on Tuesday in the microbiome wellness workshop. So when I did this challenge the first time this spring, when I was leading a group through the Tidy Your Temple detox, I had just read about the chemist who discovered how enzymes produced by microorganisms cause fermentation. Y'all, he won the Nobel Prize for that discovery in 1907. I read about how that process translates to nourishing our tissue development while simultaneously removing non-nutrients in our systems. So fermentation nourishes our tissue development, healthy tissue development, while at the same time removing non-nutrients from our bodies. Enzymes. Enzymes spark action. Enzymes spark action. Some of you are probably popping enzymes in the form of pills. And I have a much cheaper, much more effective way for you to get those enzymes. And you want those enzymes, right? Because they break down toxicity in your body and they remove toxicity from your body. Enzymes purify your blood. They deliver hormones. They balance cholesterol. They balance triglyceride levels. They energize your brain. Anybody ever wish your brain was a little more energized? Enzymes also build protein into muscle. Anyone ever wish that they had a little more muscle? Anyone desiring that? Enzymes also fortify your endocrine system. Anyone ever desire, like, a higher functioning endocrine system. So enzymes are digestion, and plentiful enzymes in your body means high functioning digestion, absorption, and elimination. And that high functioning digestion, absorption, and elimination translates into limiting energy loss in your body and creating higher order, more intelligence in our bodies. So it limits energy loss. It also can reverse the loss of energy that you might be experiencing, the loss of intelligence in your body. Guess what processed foods don't have? Joy, can you guess what processed foods don't have? Joy is here. She's doing an art project. I've been talking a lot about enzymes and all that enzymes do for our bodies. So can you guess what processed foods don't have?
Sugar?
No, processed foods have a lot of sugar. They don't have the word I just said a few times. Enzymes. It's all good. I put her on the spot. Enzymes. Okay. Processed foods don't have enzymes. Enzyme deficiency. Probably a lot of you already know what this translates into because so many people spend so much money on taking enzymes, supplements. But in case you didn't know, when you have an enzyme deficiency, what that leads to first is digestive discomfort. A lot of people start taking enzymes when they start to have discomfort, digestive discomfort, constipation, gas, heartburn, bloating. Now, if your microbiome continues to have less and less diversity because you're eating processed foods or because you have a lot of stress in your life or whatever it is, there's a whole host of reasons. And now my son is coming in. Get back to cooking dinner. He's cooking dinner. He's cooking pasta, spinach pasta with some really good sauce and green beans and fresh sourdough bread. So when you have an enzyme deficiency, it starts often as digestive discomfort. And then if you continue to have an enzyme deficiency, it becomes disease. Major disease. Now, what are the things that cause enzyme deficiency? Well, that would be eating late at night, overeating, snacking, consuming poor quality foods, processed foods, drinking a lot of alcohol. Those are all things that cause enzyme deficiency. Everything in moderation, right? So, okay, once in a while you eat later at night. Once in a while you overeat. Once in a while you snack. Once in a while you consume alcohol. Fine. But when you have those lifestyle behaviors, especially a lot of them, and it's chronic, then you move the needle in your gut from healthy into a state of dysbiosis. When you come into a state of dysbiosis or imbalance, that is when the beneficial species in your microbiomes, in your gut, decline to the point where harmful ones take over. Okay? So, if the eating late at night, the overeating, the snacking, the consuming poor quality foods, processed foods, eating too often, if it continues, Then our systems go from dysbiosis to major diseases of inflammation. Major diseases of inflammation include cardiovascular disease, Crohn's disease, a bunch of cancers. Enter fermented foods, which is different than popping enzyme pills, okay? Fermented foods like sauerkraut, living sauerkraut, not the cooked canned shit. Living sauerkraut, which is super easy to make, but if you're not going to make it, here's one that you can get from the store. Bubby's living sauerkraut. Yogurt, high quality yogurt. Kefir, kimchi, fermented cottage cheese. These are all fermented foods. Fermented vegetables, fermented brine drinks, kombucha or kombucha, tomato. Those all increase the microbial diversity, microbial diversity in our bodies. Did I mention I'm doing a talk on microbiome, which you'll be able to ask like live questions of, and have a beautiful slide deck for on Tuesday. Come to it. It's a whole $9. So fermented foods, they also kill everything from free radicals to carcinogens. They are so beneficial, fermented foods. Again, kefir, yogurt, sauerkraut, fermented cottage cheese, fermented vegetables. They are anti-inflammatory. They're anti-carcinogenic. They are antifungal. They are anti-diabetic. They are anti-oxidants. They are anti-allergenic. So if you have any issues with allergies, with fungus, with inflammation, really with anything, if you have any symptoms, and even if you don't have any symptoms, but I don't know anyone who doesn't have any symptoms, you want to be incorporating a little bit, like a condiment size of something like sauerkraut into your diet on the daily. If you have something to write with and something to write on, I invite you to write this down. Poor microbiome populations and poor microbiome genetic diversity is the key indicator of poor health. A poor microbiome population, a poor microbiome genetic diversity, meaning you don't have very much diversity in your gut. You don't have a diversity of healthy bacteria. That is the key indicator of poor health. Here's another super important sentence. When you fast, which was our challenge for one of the days a few days ago, when you fast and ferment, you have a whole effective strategy for digesting the bad guys and feeding the good guys. The combination of fasting, if you didn't hear the fasting live, go back and listen to it. It's on the Umbrella Facebook page. It's on my personal Facebook page. Fasting and fermenting, that combination is the most effective strategy for digesting the harmful bacteria, viruses, all the things in your body, and feeding the good guys. You want to feed the good guys because they build your immune system and do like dozens of other things. All right, so for very, very, very little money and a whole lot of enjoyment, you can make your own sauerkraut. Joy, how enjoyable is making your own sauerkraut?
It is really fun.
It is really fun.
It is really fun.
Yeah.
And it's really simple.
And it's super simple. You know what? Instead of me tell you about this, let's ask the 8-year-old who's been doing it since she was like 3. Okay, how do you make sauerkraut?
Cut up some cabbage.
Cabbage.
And you're going to put salt. Wait, yeah, salt in it. And then you put it in a jar. And you press it down really hard. And you mush it.
Yeah. Do you have to add water to it? Like, would we need to add that water to it? Or
We
when
would
you
not need to add any water to it.
I didn't even have to prompt that. We would not need to add any water to it. What happens when you massage the salt in the cabbage?
The juices of the cabbage comes out, and the salt makes it more yummy.
Okay, so we put it in the jar. We smash it down, you said. Okay, what do we do to keep it? Do we need to keep it down?
Yes.
Okay.
So keep putting the layers in, packing it down.
Okay.
And then we close the jar shut.
Okay.
And we need to make sure that there's no air or stuff like that, and down in the bottom.
Right. We want to make sure that there is not air in the cabbagey liquid. So every day we open it up and smash the cabbage down more, and you're going to see bubbles rise up. We want to release those gases.
And then after a few days, it is fermented.
It's fermented.
Fermented, not fermented.
And then what do we do with it after a few days? Maybe 4 days, maybe 5 days, maybe 6 days. The cool thing is that you can taste it until it is at the texture and the taste that you would like. And then what do we do with it? Where do we store it?
In the fridge.
In the fridge.
Has to be in the fridge.
That's right. It has to be in the
Cannot
fridge.
ferment and be good if it is not in the fridge after it is done.
Right.
And then after you put it in the fridge, it goes yum yum in your stomach.
Yeah. Joy, how often do you eat sauerkraut?
Every day.
Every day.
Like Mom said, you need to eat fermented stuff every day. You don't have to wait. Whatever.
Thank you, Joy. That was awesome. That was awesome. She's working on gifts right now for Mima and for her Aunt Ange for their birthdays.
Come on, let's go see.
Okay, so very little money, a whole lot of enjoyment, as Joy just shared with us. All you need is cabbage and salt and water. There are a ton of YouTube videos on how to make your own sauerkraut. If you're not going to do that, that's okay. Go to the grocery store, go to a farmer's market, go to a local co-op, and splurge on some gourmet ferments in the organic refrigerated section. Bubby's is one option that you can find at a lot of grocery stores, and it is living. All right, remember, small batch fermented foods. Small batch is what you want because they are living. Big batch processed foods are dead. No bueno. No bueno. There's fiber, but what we want are the living microbes. If you want your waste digested and you want your microbiome fed, Aunt Ange may not see that if you show it, then you want living cultures. All right. That is all for the Day 10 Challenge. Peace.